Stingy, the word stingy is an adjective and it qualifies a person. That is, people that are unwilling to give. How do you know a stingy person? I wrote down some things here. This is the question. How do you know a stingy person? Number one, they don't buy gifts. They never buy gifts. A gentleman called me out of frustration. That can I imagine that he's at work, the wife will call him, that the fuel in the generator has finished, that the fuel is just 1,000 naira. He opened a shop, a supermarket for this woman, that the woman will always be complaining that they are not making money, yet, she's a 1,000 naira that she will call him in the office. So he was now like, should I leave the office and then come home to buy 1,000 naira fuel? That there are times in the office, just a text message, gas has finished. Like, I should buy gas from the person supplying gas. Why can't you call them? Because she wants you to send money. She's tired. He is absolutely tired. So I asked him, I said, do you have an idea of how much your wife makes? And he said a whole supermarket gave to her, and the supermarket fully furnished with air conditioning, the plasma TV is playing. So sent me a picture. She has staff, she pays salary. I said, I know that 1,000 naira, that's to the extent of DSTV subscription, not pay for Explorer, that the small DSTV, the small one. I think that the subscription is probably 2.5 or something like that. That no, she will wait. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be with a stingy person. Why? Because you will end up playing the role of both parents. You would always have to augment everything. You would augment food, you would augment rent, you would augment school fees, you would augment clothes, children clothes, you would augment any medical, any emergency medical issue that you would, because they will never have. And it always puts an extra strain on relationships. Now, this is the issue. Stingy people always make their spouses available for adultery. Let me rephrase. Stingy people always make their spouses available to others to poach. This is how it happened. Let me give you an example. There was a lady who, she's been my very good friend for a while, and she called me, she heard me on the radio. She contacted me and told me her story. It was terrible. This woman had been, right from the age of 17, that the man took her and, So she wanted to come over to my office on a particular matter, and we would be talking, and I would, at times I'm not around. And so one day I looked at her DP and I emboldened it. I said, is this the way her hair was? Because it was natural. It was, said yes. I said, fix this thing. She said, when children have not eaten, when this one has not done this, when that one has not done that, you understand. This hasn't happened. That one has not happened. I've not eaten. It is hair. I said, okay, fine, fantastic. So, uh, when she now said she wants to come and see me, I said, don't bring this hair to my office. Yeah, I was just, I said, you don't come to my office with this hair. I now sent 4,000 naira to her. Now, if you're coming, just fix this hair. And she picked up the phone and now called me. And she was in tears. I said, what happened? Madam Udrak, good evening. She said, no man has ever given me a dime to make my hair. That nobody. So, the hair is there because, I said, you've been married. You have how many children? 4. Nobody has ever, just add to this. No. And, she cried. It became an emotional moment. So she went, it was just to, what do you call it? It was just to, whether plate, Didi, and, she now did herself, did the hair, it was some years back. And then, she came to my office. And when she came to my office, she was smiling. She said, how do you like my hair? This, that. She turned, is it okay? Do you like it? What would happen if I was a man that wanted to poach on her? She was saying, you like my hair again? I would just say, okay, I know that nobody has given money for hair before. If I say, okay, let me take you out to lunch, whether even if it is 1,000 naira meat pie, is it sweet sensation or whatever, 2,500 naira at least, we'll have fried rice and chicken. I know that would be another issue. That would be another issue. And before you know it, she will just be like, this man does for me what no. And if I want to walk into her mind and now, we start having an affair, both of us having something, it will be easy. It will be easy for me. It will be very easy for me. When you are stingy to your spouse, you make them available to other people. For example, I have a dear pastor of mine. Whenever he has money, he's a full-time pastor. He used to be a fantastic electrician. All those people that do the wiring of houses, and my father only used him. So he was a Muslim. He became a Christian, and then, a pastor. Those people are always hot. Those ones that are usually Muslims before. And he bought, the wife said she wanted to do, what's it called? Frozen foods. He bought the freezer. With the little he had, he bought freezers and whatever, gave her money, started off in business. The freezer will be shining like this. Then the man called me one time. He said, do I know that while he will be on the pulpit preaching, his children will come in, and an usher would approach and tell him that his children said they are hungry, that they've not eaten. And he will be on stage and then tell the usher to say, let them go home and meet them, that there's no food in the house. The mother said, every time the mother would she couldn't even feed them. And this man is someone that is always in church. It's not as if he has a salary, he's dependent on the goodwill of others. And after a while, he will pay their fees, he will pay the rent, that there was no help from this woman. So one day he got angry and went to the house and said he wants to know, is it that the business I opened for you is not yielding anything? Is it that you're not making money? So, he removed the plug from that let us know that this frozen food is not, that is not making money. He went really crazy that day. That you cannot even give children 200 naira to buy food. You'll be sending them to me in the middle of the crusade. It would affect his sermon because, the children would just be hungry. Even he, as a pastor, he would be in church, it was not that she would say, hello, send this food to my husband. No. That whatever he has, he drops in the house And he at times will end up not even eating. She will cook, eat, and whatever is left. So he had his first daughter now was in the university. Is it university or polytechnic? So anyway, he had been struggling to pay, and it remained about 30-something thousand, and it was now getting towards exam period. So they had said, if she does not complete her school fees, she would be excluded. So the man was just going, he was looking for 30-something thousand. So he was invited to this particular church in Ibadan, and when he got there, he finished, throughout the crusade, he was not happy because the daughter. So there's a lady that, usually they know, it's a CAC church, so they know themselves greeting. One of the ladies now came and said, what's wrong? That they noticed that he wasn't the cheerful self because he's a cheerful person. And he kept quiet. He said that his daughter's exam will start in 4 days, and he has not been able to raise money. And the woman said, why? She now, just asked for his account, and he was just a little distracted. She went and brought the money, cash, and gave him. You know that he told me that he has never seen that before, that a woman will give the wife. So he was asking her, what was this for? Because he couldn't believe that a woman would just give him money like that. He said that he should hurry up and go and send the money to her. He rushed, he sent the money. He didn't know what to say. After the crusade, he waited 24 hours again just to be thanking this woman. And the woman would be like, the prayers and what you do for the church is really... And while they are talking, the woman will ask that, as you are, please don't say that you are fasting. No. The crusade is over, that, his saliva is still dry, that he hasn't eaten. He said, well, let's leave that for God. The woman went, cooked a feast for, when he opened it and saw a jakika, saw meat, he said he first removed that his clerical and looked at the woman. You know what his wife never does in the house? That he sat down, he ate, and his soul prayed for the woman. And that was the beginning. When he went home, he could no longer look at his wife the same. He just could not look at his wife the same. And after a while, every time before he's gone to Ibadan. He's gone to Ibadan. Before we knew it, the woman had gotten pregnant for him, gave birth. The issue was he's a pastor, but he did not care. He said, you know what, that people that will help his destiny is what... And, eventually, after a while, the woman in Ibadan took ill and died. But she had given birth to a son for him. So it was a secret affair before because of his position as a pastor. But then he now called me that there's nothing that can be done. That boy, that son will not suffer, that he will bring him to Lagos. And, he was willing to tell everybody, this is my son. I had an affair with a woman. This was the reason. This was what happened. He wanted to go into full confession mode. I kept quiet because, that was the honorable thing to do. But, but the reality is, what will happen to your priesthood. Your church may be taken, He said he didn't mind. And, he just went home and told the wife, so, he has a child. And the wife went into a fit. This, a whole pastor. She raised so much, those people came around. And when he saw that the crowd, she wanted to start saying, he's having an affair. He just said, there's no need for everybody, that he will announce that everybody should come to church tomorrow morning or so. And he said he had something to say. The whole church was full. And he said, so and so happened. And it was because I have a wife who has never supported me. that in this church I will be lying down hungry, that the wife will not even, because he doesn't have means of income, that the little money that he has, immediately it goes to the house, the rent, the children's fees, 4 children, that the wife never, that the little, someone gave him a gift, he bought a freezer, bought everything to establish the wife, that 1 kobo, that he now met one woman. It was 30-something thousand naira that cost it. And he knew his wife had the money. But her own daughter, he refused to give him money for her own daughter to balance the school fees. So the long and short is that the affair resulted to a son. And I know I have prayed to God for forgiveness, but that son, he would not. Do you know what happened in church? People got up, walked to the altar and hugged. People were hugging him, tapping him, that he shouldn't worry. You know what an old woman said? An old woman now pointed to the window. The wife was sitting in front. That an old woman now took the mic and pointed to the woman. That, did I not tell you that this man will not eat? That some of us will go and buy bread and beans for pastor to eat, because you will not, and you are now blaming him. Is he not a man? I was shocked at the reaction of the congregation. There was no single condemnation. Everybody, people had noticed the attitude of the wife. She was rude, she was mean, she wasn't helpful, and people said, they should bring this son and let them see pastors new, to the shame of the wife. The wife said, no, this church cannot hold. This church cannot hold. The man brought to my house. It was awesome. I welcomed them. What would you do to an innocent child? But the mother was late. What am I telling you? By being stingy, you make your spouse available to others.